Hey everybody, been a little while since I've done a video. I know this isn't a tumbler, but I had kind of given y'all a warning that I'm going to start doing other things, and I still am going to do some tumblers, but I really want to get into my other pieces of art. So yeah, this is going to be a little different. This is a sample this is going to be a sample board for a countertop. This is what the customer wants. So we're going to work on this together today. And I want to let you know this is MDF board, 3/4 inch. And it's been cut and it's been routed around the edges so that our epoxy will roll over. I have painted it. I did do a base paint on this in white, and I painted my sand with what other than sand, Rust-Oleum, and I also accented the sand in the darker spots, you may be able to see them, with khaki. Our shoreline water is done with Island Girl from Color Shot. Our mid depth water is done with Seaside Rust-Oleum, and these are either gloss or satin. Both work just fine for this. And this is satin ink blue from Rust-Oleum. I have mixed up 150 milliliters of epoxy. Of course, that's not what's in here, but I've already poured some into my small containers, and I will be mixing in this pigment dye from Mirandi. Oh, and that says orange, and I thought that was brown. I don't want orange. I will be getting a brown. Then I'm going to use some translucent dyes from Let's Resin, and I've got blue, sapphire blue, and because I didn't have this teal color, I'm going to try to make it. Somebody wish me lots of luck. I'm going to use a fluorescent green into my blue and see if I can't bring that down. I may need to put a little bit of white in there. And I'm going to, for my waves, I'm going to be using HTV Rant white resin pigment. This stuff is really thick, and it will fall through the other resins as we go along. You'll get to see that. I can't be certain that I will do the waves today. I may do one line of the waves, but because I'm doing my brown up here and not leaving it just painted, that may pose a problem. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and get these colors mixed up. I will do one to start with so that you can see how I mix them and see what the translucent colors look like as I mix. I'm going to put three drops in there of the sapphire blue, and then I'm going to mix it up, and you'll be able to see. Now, the reason I did the background colors is so that I didn't have to fight and compete with the white background. I wanted there to be a certain amount of depth. So that's a pretty blue, but I think I want a little bit more. My husband has taken my old glass studio and turned it into a studio where I can do bigger pieces of art. And I really love this little room. It's off to the side of everything. So, and he's hooking up an air system in here for me so that I can go ahead and spray paint and suck all that stuff right out as soon as I want to. The resin that I'm using is Extreme Resin, and it is 0 VOCs, so there's absolutely no smell to this. And I think we've got a nice color blue. What do you think? I'm hoping the lighting in here is okay, but I'm still going to be working on that to see. I feel like maybe there needs to be more light coming from another area. I do have a window right in front of me that I was hoping was going to be enough, but I needed to get a video done for y'all, so I went ahead. Okay, we're going to try this. You know what? Let's not be pound foolish. I'm going to put a little bit of resin down here on my press and seal. And hope that that gives me an accurate depiction. Yes, we do have tan. All right, we're good. We're good. I think we're going to be just fine with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some in here. You don't need a lot of the pigment dye. You don't want it to be really translucent, but it really does go a long way. Let's just say that. I'm going to use my stirry thing here. Now, I did say I wasn't going to film all the way through this part, but I might have lied. Okay, that's really translucent, not to my liking. So I'm going to put some more in there. Whoops. I put quite a bit more in there, just so you know. Okay, yeah. That's a good amount. And I did save back some of my resin. I do want to kind of grease my board a little bit with it so that my resin will move, because we know that resin only wants to go where resin has been. It's not a leader, it's a follower. And if you didn't know that, now you do. Okay. And let's see, this is the regular blue. Hoping that this is a little different than my sapphire blue. I'm going to use the same stir stick. Ooh, that is pretty. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. I'm going to show you the differences now. Isn't that cool? I do like that for there. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. Now I'm going to attempt to make the blue for up here and hope that I don't fail. This is all an experiment. I don't know if you can see me mixing this stuff off to the side or not. Where are we? No, I'm kind of out there. But I am telling you what I'm doing. All right, put the blue in first. So 1, 2, 3. 3 of that blue, the regular blue from Let's Resin. And let's try 1 drop of this fluorescent green, because I don't want it to turn a green. Let's see what develops. Oh, I don't think we did too terribly bad. It's almost the same color as the other blue. So let's give it a little more green and see if we can't bring it up to more of a turquoise green. I put 2 more drops of the fluorescent green translucent dye in there. Well, it's getting us closer. It truly is. We're going to try 1 more drop of this green. Okay, 2 more drops. 1, 2. I And because I'm recording this, I will hopefully be able to refer back to it as to what I did to accomplish that color. And you know, by gum, I think I did it. This is gonna blow you away. Shake that all in there. Now this is the regular blue. This is the blue with the fluorescent green in it. And boy howdy do I hope you can see the difference. Those are definitely different. And I think I accomplished it. So yay me! Guys, we have had a time here, and this is why I haven't had videos out. Still going on, still life is what it is, but one of our puppies, one of our dogs, she's not a puppy, she's almost 16 years old. She's getting ready to cross the Rainbow Bridge, and it has been heartbreaking to say the least. But we're keeping her comfortable and, you know, just loving her and giving her extra special attention as we try to hold our crap together for this nasty, rotten time we're going to be going through. And yes, I'm being chipper today for the camera. Not going to lie. It's been very, very difficult. And to be honest with you, I just have not felt like doing anything as far as my channel goes. My focus has been, you know, let's make sure that let's make sure that she's as comfortable as possible. And that's all I really want to say about it. It's not easy to talk about. So, we are just getting that tannish color on here. All right, I'm going to start down here and move my way that way. What I do want to do is give myself a little bit of a clear line border. And you'll see what I mean by that in just a second. I want that border for when I pour my white. I want the border to separate so that I can push my white over top of it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Shorelines aren't perfect, and that's the beauty of them. But that's enough to give me a dividing line. I'm good with that. Now, I'm just going to grease this all up. I don't know that I really need to. I'll pour some on here. And we'll go from there. I don't want to pour it all out. I want to reserve some for myself because I may do a second line of wave, but that'll depend. It'll depend on how it rolls out for me. So all I'm doing here is spreading my epoxy around that I just put on here. Just a very thin skim coat is all I'm giving myself. Just enough to get my resin moving for the colors to roll out well enough. Okay, we're going to put our sapphire blue on. We may want to do a little bit darker down toward the bottom, and I think I'll reserve a little bit of my blue to possibly put some black in for that section. Okay, here's our mid blue. And we'll reserve a little tiny bit of that as well. And now our turquoise. Guys, this is such an easy piece to make that I hope you're inspired to do so. Put a little bit of it down here, a little bit in there. I probably could have made it a little bit darker, but I'm not hating it, so. And we're just going to start to meld and mix these together, get rid of our surface tensions. All right, now I've got a black here, and I am going to put a couple of drops of this translucent black. Maybe I'm just going to do one. We're going to start with one because I really don't want it to take over. I think I want it a little darker. Oops, two of them went in there. So that's number 3. 3 drops of the black in with the sapphire blue. And yeah, that gives us a nice deep blue color. Okay. Mixed in pretty darn well. Oh, that does give us a nice deep, deep blue color. Love that I did that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna put my white into my reserve I have over here. Okay, just mixing it up here. I like this this resin for doing countertops. It not only is very, very low bubbles, if any, but this stuff sets up so hard. I mean, 24 hours later, usually you can stick your thumbnail into the resin, and I do the thumbnail check, believe me. I don't even think about it, I just do it. Because I know that it's going to self-heal. Most resins will. I like this because it does set up nice and hard. Okay. I'm putting this at the very edge here, giving myself enough so that when I warm it and blow it down, that it goes where I need it to go. I'm hoping that I didn't shoot myself in the foot by doing the sand, the pigment for the sand. Hoping. Okay. Now I'm gonna, I got a little bit of bubbles in there. I don't really want them, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm going to start here and give myself that much. I I start off the board and then I roll off the board. Just like that. And okay, I think we're going to be okay there. I may want just a little bit more. Just right there in the middle. And I am reserving a little so that I can straighten up my shoreline should I need to. I have this blower that I'm going to blow my resin with so that I don't have to stick my big fat head in there. And I'm going to warm it up and then I'm going to blow it. So I want to warm my resin slightly, and then I'm going to just heating small areas. And then blowing it out. Okay. Now, if you want it to move a little bit further, like this right here, I can warm it up a little bit more, get it nice and fluid, and then give it a push. Because I can always come back in and heat up my or reline my shoreline with my white. The key is not to overheat your epoxy. Okay. I feel like that's enough for now. I do love this. I love what it's doing. I don't know what's that right there. Just a bubble. This looks really cool. And I love my little air blower. It is awesome. It actually saves me from passing out on the floor. Say the words. Oh, darn it. Well, that was a dumb move on my part. That stick had blue on it, and I stuck it in there. See if we can't work it out. See if we can't pull that out of there. We'll wipe it off onto the paper towel. Don't let little things like that send you over the edge, because it ain't no big thing. This just is a nice, it's just a nice line to, concentrating. It just gives you the wave break line. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know. I could be wrong. And I do want more in there, but I want it to drizzle. on this, I'm coming in from over on this end. Where are my ocean people? What do you think? I'm loving this. I was thinking that the this first set of waves would settle down into the blue, and they still might. I'm going to pop my bubbles a little bit, just a little bit. Because I don't want it to continue to run like crazy. And I may do one other wave here after this sets up. I don't think I want to do another one right away. I like that you can see the sand in here. We are going to do a second layer on this. So we're going to let this set up, and when we come back, we will either do another wave off to the side here and have it break down, or we may even do a little more down here and maybe make one break off down here as the second wave that came off. But don't go away. I will be back in a second, and hopefully you will too. We're back at it. I've mixed up my epoxy, and I've colored just two of my ocean colors. I did the sapphire blue, and then I did a darker teal, which we know was a mix between our green, our fluorescent green, and blue translucent colorants from Let's Resin. I did mix up my white. I want it to kind of start to firm up a little bit because I don't want it to be quite as runny as this was yesterday. This was set up by 8:30 last night. Just so you know, I did it around 2 or 2:30, and by 8:30ish is when I came and checked on it, and it was set up. I did the fingernail test, no fingernail impression. We're going to get our colors on here and here. I'm going to hold out on doing this until after I have done all this, because I don't want the two to join. So I'm hoping that my resin sets up enough to where when I do this, I'm going to use this umber color, and I want there to be, you know, just some definitions in the sand part of my pour. So, for starters, let's get some resin on our substrate. And I'm going to put quite a bit of the blues on here because I'm hoping that it's going to show some more depth. We shall see. Going to reserve just a tiny bit. And you will see when this goes down, this is darker than what's down below. And I think that's going to give us that, the undertow that comes back, or the backwash, or whatever it's called. My day backwash was what was left in the soda bottle after the baby drank it. Did I just say that? Let's lay our clear here. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna do this one first, And I am going to put down clear. Hopefully it doesn't separate my color too much. That's what I'm hoping. Okay. Now, I'm going to lay down my white and bring it over. And a little bit more. I may have just buggered that up by touching it. All right, let's see what we have. I'm going to, let's see, I need to double fist this. Torch. I don't know what I was thinking. I just grabbed the wrong tool. I want my heat gun. Oops. I'm ready. My lines aren't ready. Did I really wake up today? I don't know. I think we'd have a question about it. Hopefully my head doesn't get in the way this time. I noticed yesterday with the setup that I had, my head kept getting in the way. And yes, it was annoying, and I apologize, but I'm not scrapping the video for it. Okay, this has sat up probably 20 minutes, and I've gone ahead and smeared my grease coat down here because it's setting up a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. It is very warm in this studio, so I mean it does make sense. And I threw together a little coaster, and in the time that I threw that together, this seemed to set up. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this on here, and then I'm going to smidge it around. There. So, thanks for hanging in with me. I hope you really love this. I hope you like the new setting in my new studio. And until next time, toodles.